What's going on, guys? Let me crank this up. All right, hopefully y'all can hear me. Got a night live going. All right, y'all see the subject: mistakes to avoid when you're making 100K, six figures or more. These are just a couple of mistakes, some which I've made and other people have made when they make this type of money. All right. Number one, guys, gambling. Okay. Do not gamble your money away. This is something that I did. I made this mistake. I would say my first year working, I made this mistake. Okay. Yo, what's going on, T Pro? How you doing? And guys, when I turned 21, I went to the casino for my 21st birthday. I remember going back home to Mississippi. I hit up my friends. I had been working for maybe 6, 7 months at the time. So I had some money in my pocket. I worked some overtime before I went home to celebrate my birthday. And I called my two best friends up and said, hey man, look, just turned 21, let's go out. And they're like, all right, man, hey, we're in Mississippi, ain't much to do, but go to the casino. And that was the one place I was trying to avoid. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna go. So we went to the casino, bought my first legal drink, you know, and we went in, we ate, and then we just gambled. We started gambling. It was real small at first. I remember us getting on the roulette table, which is like a rookie mistake to do. We got on the roulette table and we started off. I had, I think I had like $50. I had $50. Both my homeboys had $50, and at the time they were both in college. So I had already started my career, but they were still in college. So $50 was a lot of money, and we put the money down on the roulette table, and you picking all your different numbers. We really don't know how to play, but we just picking random numbers, and we winning a little bit here, losing, winning, and then we ended up winning like $100. And so we were excited, jumping around, high fiving, the whole nine, just enjoying it as rookies. And so, just like anything else in the casino, you go up and then you come down. Okay. So that's what we did. We went up and then we came down. I think my friends, they stopped when they lost their $50. And I lost my $50. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go get some more money, no problem. So then I went and withdrew, I think it was like $300. So in total, I had about 1,500 to spend for my birthday. That's money I already had, regardless if I was going to casino or not. I was going to spend $1,500. So I took $300 out, went back to the roulette table. Same thing. Won a little money, came crashing down hard. So now I'm back at zero. My friend's like, all right, Wells, kind of slow down, man. Hey, don't spend all your money, because they looking at me like it's crazy, because I'm 21 and I just threw away $300. And in college, man, $300 does a lot. That buys groceries, that buys gas, it does all kind of wonders. But I kept playing. So I went back, I withdrew even more money. This time I withdrew like $500 to $800. My friend was like, man, dude, you losing it. And at this point, the addiction had started. I was already addicted. I was addicted to the highs and lows of gambling. And by the end of the night, I think I spent maybe $1,100, just threw it away. I had a good time, and it took, 4 or 5 hours to do, but I just threw away $1,100 when we could have, went down to New Orleans, had a good time over there. We could have went over to Florida, had a good time over there. But I blew that $1,100 on my 21st birthday. I'll never forget it. And I remember going to work, and I was waiting for my next 7 days off so I can go back to Mississippi and go gamble again. And so I was just gambling. Every 7 days I was gambling. I would work overtime, gamble the money away. Work overtime, gamble the money away. So this went on for about 2, 3 years, and I started gambling everywhere. Louisiana, um, shoot, in certain places in Texas you can gamble. I went to Vegas for the first time. It was crazy. I was losing my mind. But this happened from age 21 to about 24. Yeah, I say about 24. But I say all this to say, when I looked back and I looked at all these statements and all the money that I've spent, I was spending at least, I think I've gambled at one casino, I gambled like $60,000 away. That's crazy. 60,000. Guys, you know what you can do with $60,000? It's so much you can do with that. Do not do this. This is what I did. This is a mistake I made. And like I said, it was a lot. He said, damn, hey, I was feeling sick when that lady printed off that paper for me at it was the Golden Nugget. And hold on one second. Say hi, T. Wells. I'm a student at Com, about to graduate in December. I have a job interview tomorrow morning. What's your most valued tip when it comes to an interview? Okay, Savannah, I'm assuming you're a woman. Savannah, what you're gonna have to do, your appearance, number one. That's gonna help you with your interview. Also, two, you need to rewatch my videos. I got 2 videos, maybe 3, on interviews that kind of go over like the questions they may ask and different tips and stuff like that that will help you with your interview. Also, too, you want to get some rest, so don't stay up too late tonight. I don't know what time your interview is tomorrow. Show up early. Have your resume in hand. If you have it, put it in a folder. Uh, Also, too, just make sure your appearance is real nice. Hair done. Mainly pulled back. I would suggest that for women. And nice dress. You ain't gotta go like you're going to the club. Just something nice, kind of like the news ladies. If you watch the news or women that dress professionally like that, and you should be good to go. Make sure you make good eye contact. Um, Also, your posture. You want to sit up, speak to people, acknowledge everybody in the room, and just review the videos. I think I did a really good job explaining it in my videos. Just go back, watch them. Those are the tips I can give you as of right now. All right, back to the gambling, guys. Let's see. Can you make a King James? What's going on, King James? Can you make another video about or with an experienced instrument tech? I'm starting school next year, and it's hard finding out good resources on YouTube. Okay. King James, in that video, the interview I did with I can't think of his name right now, but the interview with the experienced guy that is an instrument tech, he actually runs a Facebook group, and he has a forum as well where you can get in contact with all of the people that deal with instrumentation. You got guys in that group that actually um, create instrumentation as well. you know. So, you know, get with it and go join it, and it'll be good. Barry Savage 22. Oh, okay. What's up? What's going on? All right, cool. Yeah. Go in there, join it. I think his name is Tobias. Tobias Leach is the name. And then his Facebook group, he runs it, and a couple of guys run it. And they have job postings, everything. Even instructors are in there. So all the resources are there for that particular field. All right. But yeah, back to the gambling, guys. That lady print off that paper, and I saw that amount on there. I threw the paper away because it hurt my feelings to even see that I've spent 60 something thousand in one casino. But since then, I've got my mind together and I've done way better financially from age 24 to now. Okay. But do not gamble. If you can avoid that, don't gamble. As much or as fun as it may be at the time, um, you don't want to throw your money away like that. Okay. So that's mistake number one. And that was for me. Don't gamble your money away when you start making this money. Okay. All right. Number two, the second thing that you want to avoid with when you start making all of this money is you don't want to start throwing your money away on silly stuff. Now, when I say silly stuff, it could be something simple as food, guys. I remember it was during the same window of time when I was gambling. I wasn't keeping track of my money, so I would go out to eat all the time because I could. You don't realize that when you go out to eat. Let's just take simple Chick-fil-A for example. If you go to Chick-fil-A in the morning, that's roughly $10, $15. You go to Chick-fil-A in the evening, that's roughly $10, $15. So it's $30 a day that you're spending eating out. And this is just fast food, guys. You do $30 a day, Monday through Friday, 30 times 5, that's what? 150? So $150 you just threw away eating at Chick-fil-A. Now I was doing this, plus I was eating out. I was eating, restaurants and everything, getting drinks, getting dessert. So I was spending easily $100 every other day eating out, or sometimes $200. You're not thinking about this because you're making all this money. You figure, oh, hey, this is nothing. But I gotta eat. When you could save that. If I would have just ate on the weekends, I would have came out better monthly saving money just on doing that. Okay, so don't overeat. Don't eat your money away. That'll be mistake number 2. All right. Okay, number 3, guys. Now this is a big one. It should be like number 1 or 2, but I'm putting this on the back end. Number 3 would be picking the right partner. Now, you're gonna hear this when you get into this type of job. A lot of people, they get married, they date, they have kids with people. Guys, listen. Hey, what's going on, young Viking? How you doing? Good, good. Glad to see you in the chat. Guys, picking the right partner can save you a lot of money. Now, when you get into this job, they're gonna tell you, hey, man, pick the right woman, pick the right man, pick the right person. Divorce is really, really high. It's super high for shift workers. I think it's at least the normal divorce rate is like 50%. I think for shift workers, it's like 70%. So something as simple as a divorce, and you're gonna run into divorced people in your career, especially as an operator. You might run into them in your normal life outside of operations. Guys, this is a big hit as far as your money. This could involve your 401k, your house. If you have kids, child support kicks in. All of this factors in on your money. All right. Now, I know what you're wondering. Hey, how do you pick the right partner? I don't know. You have to use your discernment, guys. You have to. You might not find out till it's too late. But I'm just telling you, this is just something. Don't go in picking someone that you know isn't good for you. And there are signs. It's thousands of videos here on YouTube that tell you, okay, hey, if this person here isn't treating you right while you're dating, I highly doubt they're gonna treat you even better when you're married. It just makes common sense. Use your common sense. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself, guys. It's plenty of situations you get in, and something tells you, you know what, man, this really ain't right, man. This don't feel right. It don't feel right. When you get that feeling, listen to it. Listen to it. It's like, okay, my body, my spirit, my soul, whatever you want to call it, your self-conscious, subconscious is telling you this isn't right. So go with that. Hey, if this person's not for you, don't invest all this money, all this time, and hey, you'll be better off in the end. I can't tell you how many guys have been married, then lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, paying crazy amounts of child support. It's all it is. And then when you look back at them, and they'll tell you, because most older guys or people who went through mistakes, they'll tell you, hey, try not to do what I did. Okay. Do better than what I'm doing. All right. Young Viking, do you know any instrument tech that made more than their wife, got divorced? Just curious question. Now, Me personally, I don't know any. Um, I only work with instrument techs like on day shift. Okay, uh, I'm cool with a couple of them, but they haven't opened up to me like that. Even the ones that are divorced, I don't know the uh, the backstory on it. Now, I would say on average, yeah, this is just me speculating. An instrument tech will make 100,000 a year. They usually would marry someone with a similar schedule. A teacher maybe, somebody who works that day shift schedule. Somebody in administration, a woman that does something that works at 8 to 5 p.m. Because most instrument techs work 7 to 4. Okay. Um, do they make more than their wives? I would say, yeah, just going off the average. A lot of people don't even make 100,000 to begin with, let alone a lot of women don't make 100,000. So the chances of them making more than their wife is there, if that makes sense. Um, I would guess also too, Young Viking. That's a good question. If you join Tobias's group on Facebook, they probably can get in there and tell you, you know, what uh what happens like when the divorce and all that. As far as on the instrument tech side, it's probably similar operations, I'm assuming, but I will go over there and you can hear it directly from those guys. T Pro, yeah, I got a wild BM. Trust me, pick right, y'all. Yeah, yeah. T Pro, I'm not laughing at you, but hey, that's a true statement. You know, hey, a very true statement. Look, T Pro has a child, and he's telling you, say, look, he got a wild BM. I'm pretty sure something in his soul told him, hey, this might not be right for me. But he went on anyway, just like anybody else. When I was in that casino, guys, gambling, my body told me, and my soul said, hey, man, you probably need to stop this, man. It's not really good for you. But you have a choice to make. You could choose to go the path that your body's telling you, or you could choose to do your own thing. And that's what I did. I chose my own thing. And it got to a point to where I didn't have any money. I was at work losing myself. And then I finally stopped and woke up. I said, okay, you know what? Hey, we're gonna be good. We're gonna keep going, go forward. We're gonna go forward. Yep. 1,300 a month. Yeah, that's about average. Yep. That's about average. Yep. That 1,300 a month, guys, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, guys. You know, and that's one thing, like T Pro, man, he's putting it in the chat. Look, guys, you gonna get these stores. It's guys paying more than that. I ran into one guy, no, two. I remember I was at my last job. It was a guy, man, he had 2 kids. And for some reason, they before he came to where I work, before he came to my area, they put him on a project for like 3 years. So this project, man, he was working, I think 6 days on, 1 day off, and he ended up making like 200 something thousand each year, each of these years for 3 years. Now I don't know what happened with him and his wife at the time, but at the end of all that, that's when they split. So when they split, they calculated all this money up, saying, "Oh yeah, man, you made X amount of dollars out of that." Anyway, he ended up paying like it was like $2,000 a month for 2 kids, something crazy like that. And I'm like, dang, I feel bad for him, and that's how it is, guys. This is what you're facing, especially with these jobs. You make a lot of money, but a lot of your time is taken away from the house. In some of these positions. So be cognizant of that. Okay. Let's see. I'm getting enrolled to an instrument program in my local college. Start class in January 23. If it wasn't for you or my former neighbor, I wouldn't be taking it serious. Oh man, thank you. I'm glad you crossed our paths, because when you get into the school and then you finish up Young Viking, you're gonna be thankful. You're like, you know what, man, I picked a good career. I'm making some money, and even if you hate it. So this was me. This is my mindset when I first got into it. Guys, I didn't know nothing about operations at all. Nothing. Nothing at all. And for me, my mom would tell me about it, and I was like, man, I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to go out here. You know, I want to work at a gas station. I'm thinking like, oh, man, it's just a regular gas station. I didn't know refineries exist. But anyway, once I got into it some more and I started talking to people and everything, I told myself, I said, you know what? Even if I hate this job, if I just can't stand going to work, I'll at least work 5 years. 5 years, making 100,000 each year. You know, after taxes, after everything, you still gonna physically touch $250,000. Okay. And I told myself, if I really hated it, I can do something with this money and I can just go a whole different direction. Now, what happened was I got into this job, I started liking it, and man, I started seeing other things. I was like, you know what, man, this job ain't too bad. It's bearable. You know, it's cool. You know, I could do this. You know, I like the money. I like you know, all the stuff I'm able to do outside of work. And that's how it is with most jobs, guys. Um, most people go to their job and they, especially if it's a high paying job, they go to the job and they make the money. And what keeps them going is all of the stuff that happens outside the job. So think about the family activities you can do. So if you got a family, man, you're able to take your kids on a vacation, on a trip. You know, a lot of people can't do that. Also, to where you live. You know, a lot of people they want better schools for their children. They want better education for their children. They want better opportunities. You know, some people want to move to different states. You know, I'm from Mississippi. I live in Texas now. You know, I don't have kids or anything, but let's just say I had kids in Mississippi. Now my kids get to experience life in Texas because of my job, you know. And even though this job may sometimes gonna piss you off, sometimes make you happy, whatever, you're gonna go up and down with all of it. But this is what keeps you going with the job, you know, regardless if you like it or not. And if you flat out hate it, make the money and then leave. Make the money and leave. Make as much as you want to make. Come up with a plan. You said, man, young Viking, you get in, and let's just say you hate it. Let's say you flat out hate it. All right, look, give myself 5 years. All right, 5 years. What can I do in 5 years? All right, look, I'm gonna save 20,000 a year, which should be easy. That should be easy for you to save. So I'm gonna save $20,000 a year. 5 years, I got me $100,000. Now you got 100,000 cash. When that fifth year comes, you say, man, look, I'm out of here. You got 100,000 cash. Now you go do what you want, and you have the money to help you survive throughout the year or 2 years, depending on how you stretch your money. So there you go. Yep. Make the money, start the business. Next option. Yep. And yeah, especially if you don't have kids. That's true. That's 100% true. Or you may get in it. This is another thing too, guys. When you get into these jobs and you're able to experience a lot of different stuff, uh, you start finding ways to make other money by doing stuff you like. So I use myself for example. Man, I got into working out. I had blew up, guys. Like working this job, I gained so much weight. You know, I gained a lot of weight, but then I started getting in shape. And then I found out, so you know what, man, I really like this working out stuff. It's cool. I really like it. So I got a certification. I started training people. And I was like, okay, well, I can make money training people. And so you start finding out different ways you can make more money. So if I ever decide like my job is too much for me or I just hate it, I got something now where I can make money doing something I like, you know. But I probably wouldn't know about it had I didn't have this job now to where it gives me the time and the excess money to kind of learn all this other stuff. All right. J. Cole, what's the best way to find job leads? I would say Indeed. Indeed helped me. Um, you got to set up the alerts on Indeed. Also, all these different companies have alerts that you can set up on their profiles or whatever on their company sites. Um, Another thing too, guys, they have hiring companies. So this is another way, a convenient way. when I was working, when I transitioned jobs, I used a hiring company. So hiring companies would be like Certified Staffing, Go Johnson, and these are just in Texas, specifically Houston area. Now, where you at, you have to find them wherever you're located. But if you go down there, you tell them, hey, this is the type of job I'm looking for. Here's my resume. Then they do all the legwork for you. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hydro, what's up, T Wells? I need one more semester P Tech and I can apply for an internship. What are some good companies you recommend in Houston? Okay. Hey, I would say good companies intern. Chevron's a good one. Shell, pretty much all your oil and gas companies. Power companies are good, as well as water treatment facilities. Um, um, so your water treatment facility is probably gonna have like the best schedule from what I hear. They have a nice, 4 day a week, 10 hour, um, 10 hour day schedule, so you get your weekends off. Plus, you get an experience that will help you get the full time jobs. Now they don't pay as much as the oil and gas, but the schedule's a lot better. So I would say try those out. Your main oil company: Chevron, Shell, Exxon. Uh, you can do Marathon as well, Valero, um, your chemical sites, Dow, and then your power companies. What are energy or power companies? Also, if you want to just go into a whole different field like food and beverage, here in Houston they have I think it's Budweiser. Budweiser has a plant, and I think maybe Miller or Miller Lite has a plant. If you want to do that, try that route. All right, let's see. Okay, Savage. He's the reason. Instrumentation control. He told me to go for that when I first graduated high school. Went for mill right. Okay, cool. Shout out to you, Savage 23. Yep, had no kids. 23 years. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Savannah. Those are all three of those are good. Glassdoor. I forgot about Glassdoor. Glassdoor is good too. Yeah, and LinkedIn. Yep. Yep. So yeah, and then you guys, y'all young man, 23, 24. That's perfect. That's a good age. I started at 20 when I first moved away from my mom's house. I was 20 years old, and hey, it was the best decision I made. I went straight to P Tech out of high school, finished up, and then started working. Most of my friends, they went off to college, which everybody gonna have their different paths in life. But yeah, the younger the better. You're able to take more risk when you're younger. You're able to get out here. You can try a few companies. You can live a couple of different places. Even if you don't want to live here in Texas, they got plenty of jobs out there in California. They got plenty of jobs Louisiana. Sure, I see jobs over in Nevada, which I didn't know they did stuff out there, but you go work out there. T Pro, you in your 30s, bro? Nope, not yet. I am 28 as of today. 28. I mean, my birthday not today, but right now I'm 28. But yep. Too close to the casino. Yeah, that's true. That's true. If you can control yourself, you can live by the casino. For me, I can do it now. Now I can do it. My mind has matured and I got a little bit more discipline in my body. So I can live by the casino now. But back then, ain't no way. Ain't no way. I would definitely I'd be out of there. Been getting it young then. Yep, that's true. Yep. I was thinking about moving to Oregon. Are there any instrument tech jobs? Oregon. Now I don't know specifically if there are in Oregon, but instrumentation guys is being used in more than just oil and gas companies. They use instrumentation at hospitals. You know, all these instruments are used. They're used at airports. You know, instrumentation is used pretty much everywhere, guys, and you can get into different fields at different companies. The reason I push oil and gas so much is because that's where I work. I'm there, so I can tell you what I see. I can't tell you what's in the hospital because I don't work in the hospital, and I don't want to be. Um, I don't want to sit here and give you something that's false or that I don't have experience in, and it just I'm just saying stuff. I don't like that. I don't like that personally. I don't like that, so I wouldn't want to do it. Okay. Let's see. I, but yeah, young Viking, if you want to move to Oregon and work, get in that Facebook group, put that question in there. Tell them, hey, look, man, I'm thinking about moving to Oregon. Are there jobs in Oregon that have, instrumentation jobs? I'm pretty sure you'll get an answer, or at least you will run into one guy. Like, for example, it might be a guy, he works for, we'll use the hospital, for example. He works in a sector of the hospital. Like, hey, man, I work for X company. We make the instruments that monitor babies' heartbeats or some shit. Okay. Oh yeah, that same company, they use that at the hospital in Oregon. Okay, now that's where your job's at. Now you just contact them and get the job like that. If that's making sense to you. Let's see. With the PTech degree, do I still start off as a fire watch, or can you go straight up to being a process operator? Okay. The PTech degree, you won't do anything with fire watch. So you'll go in as an operator. All right. Hydro. So how it works, let's just say today is what? Tuesday? Let's say you started your job as an operator Monday morning. Okay. What you would do, how it works is you would go to something called BOT training. BOT. It stands for Basic Operator Training. All right. You'll be in the classroom. So your first week, you're going to get your work ID. You're going to get your logins for the computers. Um, you're going to learn how to pay yourself. You're going to do all the little back end work that you're going to do every day to start your shift. Okay. All right. Now, this is going to be like a 12-week thing. So that's week one. Now, week 2 through 10, they're going to get operators, supervisors, engineers. Pretty much every department is going to come in and they're going to go over what they do, their part in the whole piece of where their link in the chain that runs the whole company. And then also, too, you're going to know about every single unit that's in the facility that you work at. Okay. This is all going to be in the classroom. You're going to take tests. You're going to take tests each week. They're going to teach you how to do just basic operator things, putting the type D connection together. What is a pump? What is a compressor? How does a pump work? How does a compressor work? What is a tower? How to read a gauge, the different type of gauges, a valve, how to open it, how to close it, different types of valves, different type of processes. All this is going to be covered weeks 2 through 10. All right, in the last 2 weeks, you're going to do tours. They're going to take you to all these places, all these different units. And you're probably going to meet a couple guys, you're going to meet a couple supervisors. And then that last week or so, you're going to get assigned where you're going to be at for your career. And that's how it works. No fire watch, none of that. Just straight operations from day one to throughout your career. All right. Okay, young Viking here in Houston, just overcrowded. Not sure if you notice, I'm trying to leave my mom's nest at 24. Okay. Hey, I understand. And hey, go where you want to go. Try it out. Me young enough, you can do it. Let's see. Are there any male process techs or coworkers that you've seen with dreads or clean, natural hairstyles within the oil and gas environment? King James. Okay. Yes, I have. I've seen guys. I've actually worked with guys who've had dreads. Now, the guys with dreadlocks or long hair, what happens is over time they cut their hair. Now, one guy told me he cut his hair because it's too much to keep up with coming to work, the hard hat, all the sweat, all the maintaining the hair itself in this industrial environment um, it just isn't convenient enough. Okay, so they end up cutting their hair. or they'll cut it to where it's not just like draping down to about here. They'll probably cut it to like neck length and do just like cornrows, stuff like that. Um, you can have dreads if you want coming in here. Your hair will have to be tied back. That's a part of the policy. It has to be tied back. So you mainly wear your hair tied back. But yeah, it shouldn't be a problem with you having long hair or natural hairstyles. It's just all about how you want to maintain it. Some areas are very dusty. Um, like it gets very it just get very dusty where they're at, and then some they have like it's a very moist environment. So if you work like in like the utilities section, um, or like you work around a lot of steamers, a lot of boilers, it's gonna be a lot of moisture. So however that affects your hair, just be thinking about that too. But most people with long hair, they usually end up cutting it, or they'll work in a different department. Like if they are operators or whatever, they'll probably transfer like somewhere like into a lab, or move up into supervision or something like that. From what I've seen, and I've only seen like a handful, maybe 3, 4 guys. All right. What would you, J. Cole? What's going on? You said what would you say is a good safe investment once you make 100K in order to further that? All right. Once you start making money, I would say, guys, the best investment would be where you live, in my opinion. And the reason I say this is because if you get let's say you get a house, and that I'll assume that's what you want to do, but I say get you a house. You know, you want to cover your basics when you start making money. So number one, somewhere to live. And what I've seen is if you pay a little bit more for where you live, you you increase like the safety, and the value usually stays up there. But you have to pay for it. Okay. Second thing, vehicle. I know people talk shit about cars. You shouldn't buy cars. You shouldn't buy a truck. Whatever. Look, you need a reliable set of transportation. I don't give a damn who you are. If you can't get to work, you're gonna get fired from work, and you ain't not gonna make no money. So you need you a decent vehicle. Okay, so you got somewhere to sleep, and you got some transportation, and then the third investment, guys, will be uh, into yourself. You know, whatever it is, like I would say, try to eat better. Definitely, like all the health stuff. Getting checkups twice a year from the doctor. Getting a massage. Once a month, guys. That's one thing you have to do. Most people don't do that, but you get you a massage once a month and you get adjusted like every other month. This is gonna help you because you work so many hours. So that's kind of investing back into your body, and it's gonna help you in the long run. I can't tell you how many guys have back problems, knee problems, all this stuff, and they don't take care of themselves. So I would say when you start making money, number one, get you somewhere to live, somewhere safe to live, uh, and then number two, get you a decent vehicle to get you back and forth to work. You don't want to be worried about your car starting up or breaking down. That's the last thing you need. You got to be able to get to and from work. And then the third thing, I would say invest in yourself. This could be your body. I would say do that first. But you could do stocks. You can get into the stock market if you want to. You could buy more property if you want to. I would do things that you like to do. You know, that's what I would do. Let's see. T Pro, I got dreads. I just put my hair up, but I'm just in training. We'll see. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Tied up. Yeah, you got tied up. Action Jackson. What's going on? I like that name. Action Jackson. Hi, Mr. Wells. What is your live stream schedule? Because I just came in. Well, right now, man, I don't have a live stream schedule. So on YouTube, you have to have, I think, 1,000 subscribers to unlock this live stream feature. So I did one live stream yesterday, like early in the morning, just to test it. I did it on my phone, and I just put it up there and it was and I just went with it. And so tonight I'm trying it from my computer to see what the difference. Now on the computer, it is a lot easier for me to see the chat, for me to keep up with stuff. Plus, I still got the accessibility to my phone. I can answer a call if somebody called me or emergency happened, whatever. I don't have a schedule. That I'm gonna have to work on that. But I would say this first week, maybe the first 2 weeks, is just gonna be at random times. I do plan on to stay for at least an hour, if I can. Every time I get on a live stream, it'll be for an hour. But I will start working on a schedule. If you guys like this more than the videos, or I'll keep doing both. But to me, this seems easier. I just cut the camera on, I just go. I don't have to uh, sit back and upload and do all the little minor edits that I do. But I like this. It's kind of like I'm talking to you in a room. Only thing is, I just can't see y'all. I can just read what you're typing. All right. Hydro, how's the flexibility with shifts if you're part-time military? Okay, it's a good question. So if you are in military, what happens if they hire you? Now, this is right now. I don't know if they're gonna change this, but I highly doubt they're gonna change it. But I've worked with a couple guys who've been in the military at both companies. And so what they would do, you still would be able to do your military duty because in a sense, that will come first. Like protecting the country will come first, then the job. Okay. And you still get paid. So for example, let's say you're scheduled to go to training for 4 or 5 days for the military, and it happens to fall on your work schedule. Okay, they will notice. The company will know, your supervisor will know, and all that. But you'll still get paid while you're gone for the military, and then when you come back, you'll just pick up on your normal schedule. That's what I've seen. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to get some of the military guys to come on here and kind of explain it more in detail. But as of now, from what I see, that's what they tell me, and that's what I see when I see them at work. They go do their thing for the military, they get paid while they're doing it, and then they come on back and they get back into work, just like it's normal. All right. Let's see, Young Viking, make sure it's not a GM motor. You'll be good. uh, let's see. T Pro, put more in your 401k. Yep, that's a good investment to make. Yep, put more in your 401k. Action Jackson, you graduated from JC. Yes, I did. Yes, sir. Graduated from JC back in Mississippi. Oh, let's talk about this 401k thing. All right. So, guys, if your company offers 401k, sometimes they match. Most companies gonna match it. All right. Now, with the 401, you're gonna hear a lot of people tell you, "Hey, look, max out your 401k. Put the most you can in it every year," which is good. It's really good. You will reap the benefits down the line if you do that. You will have more in there. Now, if you're just starting off, now this is me. I do what I tell you to do. But what I do or what I did was I match the contribution. So the company gives you, let's use an example, 7%. Hey, we're gonna match you 7%, dollar for dollar on your 7%. So what I did, I started off at 7%. Now I'm moving from Mississippi to Texas. Now if you're already here or you already live where your company's at, you can do more. I'm never gonna tell you not to do more, but I suggest you start at the match. So 7%. So 7% equals 14%. If you make 100,000, that's 14,000 a year. All right. The most you could put in it, I think it's like 18,000 a year or 19,000 now. But that's what I did. I started off at the match, and what I did the 1% increase each year. So I started off at 7%, and then it just went to 8%, then it went to 9%, 10%. And you see how the progression goes up to where now I've been working for, let's see, what, 8 years. So 15% plus whatever the match is, like 7%. It's maxing itself out anyway, automatically. But I did it over the course of time. Okay. Now I did get me a vehicle. I got me a truck, guys. I got a reliable truck. I got that. I got a house. As you can see, I got a house. So instead of stressing myself out, putting a lot of money up into the 401, I just did it gradually. Okay. Nice and easy. Um, it was enough money to get the match. The match put me at a good amount that was good for me. And now over time, I'm at the max amount, and it doesn't bother me at all because nothing really has changed as far as what I bring home into the house. Now that's just one way you can do it. But like T Pro said, look, you can put more in your 401k if you got it set up like that. Say you already have a house. Say you already got a truck. Yeah, always do more if you can do more. But if you start from ground zero or you move and you're going somewhere new, I say do it the way I did. Start at the match, 1%, nice and easy. Each year, 1%, and then eventually it's going to hit the max. Okay. All right. Since Jesus Mendez, hopefully I said it correctly. AT Wells, when you worked at Chevron, what unit did you, I guess, work in? Tell me about your experience. Can you also tell me what unit is the most complex unit? Okay, working, yeah. All right, so when I was at Chevron, I can't think of the number of the unit. So Chevron, the Chevron site I worked at, they call the units by numbers. It wasn't like how it is now where I work. My unit is called what it actually does. I can't remember the number I worked in, but it was a polyethylene unit, so there was plastics. And let's see, what did I do? Okay, so we created plastic, guys. That's what we did. Made these like we used ethylene and we used this catalyst in a reactor, and it made plastic. And then the plastic would come out of something called a extruder, which think of a meat grinder. So think about plastic going through a meat grinder, then it comes to the end, and then there's a blade that cuts it into pellets. So it's going through this extruder, it's getting cut by this blade, and it's using water to transfer from that into this little dryer system to kind of remove the water, and then you have these pellets, these plastic pellets. Okay, those plastic pellets were used in all kind of stuff, medical grade plastic. I know one of the things we made was the plastic for Folgers. You ever see that red can that Folgers coffee? My area actually made the plastic that made that. Most of your household products, like if you look at a bleach container or laundry, that type of plastic came from what we made back over in Chevron. The most complex unit that's going to vary. So it depends on the person. So I would say the unit I worked in was pretty easy. It wasn't complex at all to me. Now, they do have a newer unit there. I don't know what they make or what they process. The size of it is pretty big. So it could be complex as in learning where everything's at, you know, following tracing lines, learning okay, what connects to what where. All right. Uh Complex could be the size. For some people, if it's more equipment, it's more complex. Also, too, it could be what you're actually processing. If a product's coming in here, changing here, changing here, changing here, changing here, changing here, changing here, and then coming out something different, that could be complex. So uh, the question it can go multiple different ways, but I would say probably the largest unit would be the most complex for somebody new. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. Uh, Jesus. Shamor Nelson, what's going on, man? What's up? I thought about joining them, the military about EK. Okay. Oh, Savage. Okay, you thinking about joining the military? Okay. Well, hey, either way, even if you did join the military and then you want to come work, both things will be here in the end. Okay, you got to have oil and gas. You got to have a military. The military can't get to where they get without oil and gas. Okay, oil and gas can't produce if the military ain't protected. So both gonna be here. You can choose whichever one you want to choose. All right. Action Jackson, Legarius Wells is my nephew. Okay. I have to see a picture, man. I'm really not good with names, Action Jackson, but if you show me a picture, I can remember a face. All right. T Pro. Got to do at least what the company matches for free. Yep. As far as the 401, yeah, that makes sense. Young Viking, life insurance is a must. Two, got to have a leave a legacy. Yep, you could do that. Yep. I think you could put more into your pension. I'll have to ask. Uh, yeah, T Pro, the pension thing, that's going to vary from company to company on how you can add to it. Let's see. Hi, Mr. Wells. I can't say your name, sorry, but what does acquiring some safety skills after college add value to my CV before getting on for a job? What do you recommend? Okay. The safety skills after college, it depends on what you get. Now, let's say you take an OSHA class. This will help you. Let's say you take a hazardous material class or hazmat class. That can help you. Both of these things you can use in your job. Okay. Uh, anything. I don't know how you would get into like stuff like industrial fire and all of that. I don't know how you would do it, but though like hazardous material or handling hazard material, that'd be a good one. OSHA class is always a good one. Forklift, forklift is a good one. We do have forklifts that we use. I remember at my first job, we had to have a forklift certification. Even if you came in without one, they made you go get one. Currently, at my company now, certain people have forklift certifications, which that could help. Hopefully, this answers your question. Savage 20. Okay, Savage. How do you get a job if you have zero experience, just a degree? Okay, for this one, to get a job, I would say you have to go for more of an internship or apprenticeship type position first. That's what help you. In my experience, I went internship first, then full time job, and it was just a smooth transition. Also too, the internship will kind of show you what you're getting yourself into. Because at that point, you may not like that skills, you may not like that type of work, you may not like the hours. At least with the internship, you're not fully invested, with everything that comes with a full time job. Like a house, car, apartment leases, all this stuff. At least with an internship, you may still be at your mom's house, or you may still be, getting the help from outside sources. And that way, if you do decide to change your mind, you're not in too deep. Okay. Also, but if you let's say you want to do the full time job with just a degree itself, people that you know. So that's one. If you know somebody at a company and they can and they're credible, that person is credible at the job, they can help you. Uh, Sometimes, man, it could be dating the right person. I've seen that. I've worked with a guy who happened to date this girl whose dad was like, he was like on one of these higher management groups or whatever at the company, and boom, got him in. She liked him. He liked the job. He got in. Now they not together now, but that's a possibility. I know it sounds crazy, but hey, that's the world we live in. All right. Hydro, what can you do during your 12-hour shift when there's nothing to do? Take a nap. LOL. Okay. All right. During 12 hours, and there's nothing to do. Okay. Well, if you're new, let's just go take this from a new perspective. If you're brand new, you need to be studying as much as possible. Okay. You need to learn where you work, what happens, what process you got, what to do if things go haywire. You need to know where to go, who to get in contact with. Okay. Now, fast forward, say you already know what you're doing. Okay, or you think you know what you're doing. Taking a nap, then you really can't do that. they'll fire you. I've watched a guy literally get fired for that. The wrong person actually, yeah, the wrong person saw him sleeping. I ain't gonna put his business out all the way, but the wrong person saw that and he threw away $100,000 or more. So like I always say, guys, don't let nothing get in between you and the money, especially yourself. You can find something to do, guys, while you out there for 12 hours. I mean, there's plenty to do. Um, you got shift mates, you know, they'll show you some things. Certain things that they're gonna show you that's gonna be different from what somebody else may show you. You can sign up for overtime, you know, take care of your bills, take care of all your business, if you can. Get all your stuff paid up. So you ain't gotta worry about it when you get to the house. Just a few things, but it's gonna vary from shift to shift, from job to job, wherever you at with your crew. Get with them. They will. That's really gonna help you figure out what you need to do for them 12 hours if you ain't got nothing to do. What's the highest rank you can get as a process operator? Greetings from Nigeria. All right, man. What's going on? The highest rank or position. Uh, I don't know where you're going with this question, but they used to have positions like a head operator. They still got them back in Mississippi, I think. You'll be like a head operator or a chief. So pretty much you would be like one step below the supervisor. Okay. So pretty much all the operators would kind of like channel through you, and then you would go to the supervisor. Now that position, you would know pretty much all the jobs. More likely, you'll have at least 10 years experience on the unit. Um, you would know what to do in emergency situations and all that stuff. Uh, that's probably the highest that I've seen. Now, if you want to switch over to salary, then it can go as high as the plant manager, the guy who runs the actual facility. You can go from supervisor and supervisor, coordinator, and it just keeps going up. They got different chains, different departments, and you just keep going up that way. Smartness, what's your take on joining the union? Is it worth the money they take out each check? IDK. If that's something you want to talk about, being that nobody really tries to persuade anyone on joining. Okay, as far as the union thing, I mean, you could join if you want to. To me, I say it's worth it. I used to be at a non-union site. Now I'm at a union site. Uh, it's all on your situation because it's gonna be different from everybody else. Like in my last live, I was talking about my schedule, like they was fucking with my schedule. So now they really can't fuck with my schedule like that. It's because of the union. They have to go through them if they're gonna make all these sudden changes and stuff. So, to me, it's worth it. It's just one extra barrier between me and my money. So that's to me it's worth it. You could do it. You could join if you want to. Different unions gonna have different perks to it. Sometimes some people feel like it ain't worth it to them. But it's all up to the individual. When you go to a union site, they're gonna have when you hire on. I can tell you this: they're gonna have union reps, and you probably gonna have them on your crew, probably on your unit. Um, they will talk to you and kind of explain all of the things that the union does. And so at that point, you can make your decision. You be like, okay, well, you know what? They're doing X, Y, and Z. I'm really looking for A, B, and C. So I don't need to join. Or vice versa. They do X, Y, and Z. I'm looking for X. Okay, they cover X. I really don't care about Y and Z, but as long as they cover X, I'm in. I'm in. So it can be like that. Action Jackson, how do we get an internship? Because they didn't offer me an internship while I'm in college. Okay. The internship thing, you'll have to go and look for them or search for them. That's unfortunate that they didn't have anybody come out to the college. That's usually where the internships are at. If there's a job fair near you, or Yeah, usually a job fair will have it. They have these conventions too, guys. They be in different little spots. You have to look them up. Um, Also, get with your instructors. You know, these are the people that you should be in contact with that should help you guys. Your college professor, especially in these programs. Usually, these are experienced people who are teaching you the P-Tech, and they have contact with companies, their old company. They should be able to give you some type of information on internships. But if they don't, you can get online. Hey, you can search for internships. I know Shell does an internship every year, sometimes twice a year. Chevron does internships every year, sometimes twice a year. Exxon does it. And these are just oil and gas companies. Now, the chemical companies, I don't know. You know, the power plants, I don't know. But you can always look online, look on Facebook, join these different groups. They should have process operator groups on Facebook. And then you can get in there and connect with people. LinkedIn, you get in there and connect with these people, and then that can lead you to a potential internship. Hopefully that answers your question. Keep this live stream up, bro. I'm going to rewatch this. All right, young Mike. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all of them up. You know, don't worry. I'm not the one to, I guess, feel shame or I got to be perfect for the camera. You know, hey, I just leave it up. J. Cole, all I have is my P-Tech certificate before joining the military. Is it absolutely necessary to get a degree? Okay, J. Cole, I'm glad you got the certificate. Now, as far as the degree, I see it now that they're requiring the degree. It used to be degree or like 5 years experience or whatever. Now, some companies will require it, some won't. With you having experience in the military and a certificate, to me, you should be good on getting the job. As long as you test well, as long as you interview well, you should be able to get in with your certificate and experience. Now, let's say if you took the military away, you took your certificate away, now it would be more difficult for you to get in, if this makes sense. The more you have, the more you increase your chances. Okay. And you want to give yourself the best opportunity to get in. Okay. If you can get the degree, I say get it. And the reason I'm telling you to get it, you may want to move up one day. You may want to move to a different company. I mean, you just don't know where you're going to go in life to where the degree can come in handy. All right. My degree helped me when I changed companies. It was real easy for me to say, okay, hey, look, man, I have a degree, I have experience, and they just brought me on in. You know, now let's say you took the degree away, it may have been more difficult. So you want to use as much as you can to your advantage. All right. T Pro, study your area. Yep. Action Jackson, thank you, T Wells, for the precious knowledge. Oil and gas, crucial channel for future operators. I think you're the only oil and gas YouTuber. Okay, thanks, man. Yeah, no problem. Graduated JC December. Won't interview me yet. I'm trying to get an operator job. Hard for me. Okay, hey, I understand. So with you graduating 2021, it may take a year for you to get a job. It may take 2 years. Guys, these jobs also to where you're applying, because this could be a problem too. Um, if you don't want to move, then you're limited by where you can work. And so if you're limited where you can work, then you have to wait on that particular company to open up hiring again. You gotta wait for them to select you. Now let's say you open up your net further than that. Okay. You look at jobs in neighboring states. Okay. So now you willing, okay, I can move to the state to the left of me, the state to the right of me. Now you got more opportunities, you got more applications out, you got more resumes out. The chances of you getting a job goes up. And then if you open up even more to a region, this is like several states that you're willing to work in as more opportunity. Then you can open yourself up to the whole country. Like you really don't. It doesn't matter where you move. It just goes up more and more. It's all on you and where you want to live, um, and how often do you want to travel for testing, for interviews, and you know that's what it's going to come down to. So, but if you want to stay where you're at, you feel comfortable where you're at, then getting a job where you at is going to be difficult at times. It's not going to be easy all the time, guys. All right. It was hard for me to get a job in operation after I finished my process operating degree back in 2012. I kept trying until I got in with the right company. Yep. See, that's good. Rodriguez, Jake. Yeah. See that happens too. Even for me, guys. I remember when I was in school, man, guys. This how it was back in 2012. Yeah, same year. Well, I graduated 2013, but I remember 2012 to 2013. Man, it was guys getting jobs in the middle of the semester. I remember like it was yesterday. Companies like Shell were coming through, Chevron. I mean, all the oil and gas companies were hiring like crazy, and then even offshore. But they was pulling guys in. If you had a graduation date of, let's say, May, they would come in February. Hey, who all graduating in May? People raise their hand up. They look all their paperwork up. All right, we got a job coming online in March, and they work out a little deal, man. They bring them guys in. They'll be gone. End of March, full time job. They out of there. And some of them finished their degree, some of them didn't. They got the job and they were cool. But that's how it is. So, but for surely, if you open up your net on how many jobs you want to get, you'll see some traction a lot faster. Especially applying in bigger cities. Houston, for example, is a good one. I mean, hell, the state of Texas, there's plenty of jobs throughout the whole state that you can get into. It's just, do you want to live there? You know, some in the middle of nowhere, some are, in a thriving city. So, yep. Hmm. Yep, guys. The stream was on mistakes to avoid. I know I covered three of them. Um, there's plenty more to cover. Another one I can think of, mistakes to avoid. I would say giving your money away. Um, this happens a lot. Guys start making excess amount of money, and you'll give it away, whether it's to your family, friends, people that you're dating. Uh, you know, you just start giving money away more than what you normally would, just because you feel like you have an excess of money. Another mistake, guys, is um, not tracking your money at all, not knowing where your money's going. So this changed the game for me um, a couple years back before I bought my house. Started tracking everything, and guys, when you start seeing where all your money's going, you start realizing, like, dang, no wonder I don't have as much as I should. I'm throwing it away here. I'm throwing it away there. It's same thing with your health. When you start tracking what you eat, you'll start seeing like, damn, okay, no wonder I'm 20, 30 pounds overweight. I'm eating all this crazy. I'm eating all these calories. I never knew I was eating, or I'm drinking all these calories. The same thing with the money, guy. Track what you're spending. Monthly. It's not that hard. They got apps for it. Even now, before you start making the money, just kind of get a feel for where you're spending. There's certain cards, certain credit cards or bank cards that'll tell you, okay, hey, this month you spent $400 on food, you spent $200 on groceries, you spent $150 in gas, and it'll break everything down to where you kind of can see what you're getting into. All right, let's see. Florida is not very common for instrument tech if Oregon doesn't work out. I heard Young Viking. It depends. You can. you do your research on it, and you may find things that are jobs, or you might find jobs in Florida. I thought the same thing as far as operations, but there are operator jobs in Florida. Hell, there's an Exxon in Florida. I didn't even know that. I didn't even think Florida did stuff with oil and gas, but there's an Exxon over in Florida. And one of the guys I went to school with works out there. So you can work there for sure. I know that one place you can work. Uh Also too, you may have to change you may have to change the field that you're in. So you may have to get out of this oil and gas field and work somewhere else where they just use the instruments. So like I used the example for the hospital. There's hospitals everywhere. They have to be. They have instruments in hospitals. That may be your job. You're still an instrument tech. You're just not in oil and gas. So, I would just say do a little bit more research on it, and even and if that's the case, you can verify that, hey, okay, what I heard is true, or you can research it and be like, damn, man, they got some jobs out here in Florida. Man, they got more jobs than I thought. Either way, it'll benefit you. Hydro, do you know how the overseas job opportunity work? I just know they pay a little more, and I believe they're non-taxable. All right, Hydro, the overseas job. So these work kind of like offshore jobs, as far as the schedule. I've met three guys who've worked in different countries. One was my professor, and then two of the other guys I met while I was working. Uh, so sometimes the company has the assignment over there, or sometimes you have to go through a contract company. All right. Now, you're going to make more money, and it is non-taxable up to a point. And there are certain stipulations. Now, the way my professor explained it to me, he used to work off of the coast of Nigeria for Chevron, and he was making about $2,000 a day. It was crazy. He was working 12-hour shifts. He'll work 30 days on and then 30 days off. Now, his wife was back in the US, but they had to meet, I think, like in the Bahamas or one of these islands they had to meet in, because if he crossed back over into the US, he would get taxed for all that money that he made. So in your contract or in your job assignment, they'll tell you, okay, hey, this is what you're gonna do. You can only come to the US X amount of days, or you can't come to the US during this whole assignment. Now, the same opportunities for instrument techs, or I won't say instrument techs, but analyzer techs. My best friend, his dad did a job assignment over in Russia. This was a couple years ago, before shit started getting out of hand. He worked for Chevron, and Chevron sent him over there. So sometimes your company will have these jobs where they say, okay, hey, look, we need someone to go over here to whatever country, or you might see it pop up internally, like, okay, here, there's a temporary assignment in this country. And then you just go in, you'll get with your supervisor, they'll go over the contract with you, what you can do, what you can't do, and where you're gonna live and all this stuff, then they'll send you over there. Okay. And yes, you will make a lot of money, you will make more, but um, you have to stay out of the US for so many days to not be taxed. Okay. Uh, Most of this stuff is done internally. Like, so when you get on with a certain company, from there, if they're a global company, then you'll be able to get these jobs a lot smoother. Now they always have contracts. You can go with contract companies, and that process is going to be a little different. I don't have a lot of detail on it, but how it's explained to me is you would you will get with the contract company, and if this is a contract company that works with the company you work for, then they'll let you leave your job, work the assignment, come back, and then you can come back and work for your company. Now you might not be at the same site. They may send you to a different site, but you'll still be within the same company. If that's making sense to you. All right. That's true. Financial management is important, especially after making the big bucks. I've seen library go huge that quick. Yep. Rodriguez Jake, you hit the nail on the head. Um, Guys, you can easily get in debt, and it's so easy to do. It's real easy. I got into debt, like I was saying earlier in the stream, uh, through gambling. You know, they put me in a lot of debt that I didn't have to have. Uh, you'll see it with guys; they'll buy, like when I say buy a vehicle, a reliable vehicle, instead of buying something decent. And when I say something decent, I'm talking no more than like 30,000. You know, maybe 35,000 and less. You know, you'll have some guys gonna buy, 80,000, $90,000 trucks, or super nice cars, $100,000 car, Corvette, Mercedes, whatever. They gonna do what they want to do with their money. Everybody grown now. You can do what you want, but that's what you're gonna see. You can either go down that path or you go down the other path. Okay. Uh, Another thing too is homes. You can go buy you a big. You'll be approved for all kind of shit because of the money you make. You'll be approved to buy, a $700,000 home, $800,000 home. I suggest you don't do it, but you can do what you want. You know, the smart thing to do: get something that's safe that you can afford, and that you're not hurting yourself going to work just to turn around and pay all your bills. You want to have you some money that you can enjoy yourself. Okay. Young Viking, my dad's 66. He makes 70K. Process technician at BSFA here at Houston. I think they're paying him less than yours thoughts. Okay. Uh Young Viking, your dad making 70. BASF, I think that's a chemical company. I think. Um, so chemicals are going to pay less than oil and gas companies because oil and gas companies make more money. You know, um, you only use chemicals for certain specialty things. You know, think of it like this: uh, the windshield wiper fluid in your car is a chemical. Okay, now different cars gonna have different windshield wiper fluid. You could buy different fluid from wherever. All right. Now, gas, you have to have gas in your vehicle for it to go. There is no negotiating on the gas. You got to have that. Okay. Um, Also, in oil and gas refineries or in the oil and gas industry, um, all of these products, like things like Amazon and you know, uh, all these trucks that you see, they run off diesel. All the travel jets, this jet fuel, all of this is powered by the oil and gas industry. So the pay is a lot higher. The pay is going to be higher. It's just where your dad works, BASF, they may only make certain chemicals. And so it depends on if people are buying those chemicals. Where I work, if you don't get gas from a marathon gas station, so what? You know, we can put gas in a tanker that sends shit across the world. Or we can put gas in a jet, jet fuel. We put products in it and we can fly stuff. We're not dependent on just one thing, if that makes sense. Action Jackson, how many days you have overseas not taxed? Did you mention that? If so, sorry for asking again. Oh, Action Jackson, that's cool. It's gonna vary from contract to contract. Now, I don't know. From what they told me, the people who did go over there, they can only come to the US for 30 days in the year, the whole year. So out of 365 days, they can only be on in the US for 30. So what they did, if they had, and they had wives and families and stuff, they'll meet their family and stuff in the islands. So the islands is not the US. So they would go, I don't know, to probably Cayman Islands or somewhere, or I know one guy, he was going to the Bahamas. His family would be in the Bahamas waiting on him, and that's where they hang out while he on his 30 days. That's what they did. Canada, you can go up there, or you go to Mexico. long as you're not in the US, you good. But 30 days was the last thing I heard. Now it could have changed, and this is a couple years ago. It's like 5, 6 years ago. T Pro, I'm with you, Will. Certified pre-owned 30K on yep. What you suggest I'm looking to buy in 2024 when the foreclosures pop up here in Denver? I'm just being honest. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's true. Get you a nice, decent truck, man. Something decent, get you back and forth, even if it's a car, whatever. But yeah, as far as the home thing, yeah, you can do that. You can wait it out. The markets for the home drop down, pick you up a house, and then just there you go. You don't have to overpay for it. Rodriguez Jake, oil and gas is definitely the way to go. I was a plant operator at a coal-fired power plant. Worked the coal system, scrubbers, and generators. Now I need to get my foot in the door there. Yep. Yeah, you can. Rodriguez Jake, I don't know where you're at, but yeah, that experience there with like generators and yeah, the generator experience is going to carry over to the oil and gas for sure because we do use generators as well. As far as scrubbers, um, yeah, you have to explain that to me a little bit more. But we might have equipment similar to that. But definitely, if you can, yeah, come on into the oil and gas industry. You definitely like it. The pay is pretty good, unless it's a scheduled thing. And I always talk about this, guys, and I guess because it's just so important to me the schedule. So um, it's certain jobs that I didn't pick because of the schedule. And if the schedule doesn't matter to you, then you can just go for the money. But I will always go for the better schedule. You know, that's just me. So that's just something to think about when you're changing companies, or if you want to, like you say, like Jake says, you want to get into the oil and gas. Look at whatever schedule works best for you, or that fits kind of your lifestyle outside of work. Yep, man, that time go by fast on this live. I see why it'd be 3, 4 hour live streams. Shoot, it's already an hour and 20 something minutes that went by. But I want to say I appreciate all of you for watching. Engaging in the chat, um, jumping on wherever you're from. I appreciate y'all, especially coming by the channel and watching the videos and leaving comments and all that stuff. Man, it really helps and for helping me grow to where I'm at now. Um, Also, too, I'll be doing more of these lives. I have a book coming out soon. It's almost in the completion phase. So the book will be out on November 1st, which will be 6 days from now. Also, of course, be out, and hopefully everything launches on November 1st. And so that'll be out. And I just thank y'all for everything. You know, this content helps me a lot. Thank you. I'm glad it helps, Young Viking. I'm glad it helps, man. Spread it as much as you can. And I'm glad you guys are not only just absorbing the information, you're actually using it. And that's the main thing, guys, is when you get into something new or you're trying to learn something, not only do you absorb it, but you actually use it to get the desired result. Okay. To finally get in, finally get that job, finally change your life. And this job changed my life. As great money. The benefits are wonderful. I've been hurt this time, and most jobs don't have the type of medical benefits we have. So, guys, it's a great feeling to know everything taken care of, whether you're at work or not at work. Even if you hurt yourself. Action Jackson, will your book be on Amazon? Yes, yes, it'll be on Amazon. Will it be on there on the first? The first would be mostly digital downloads or like in a digital format, and then it should be on Amazon before December or by December. So That'll be the next step. But the first thing is just getting it out, getting digital copies out, um, that way, and then also I have a video course that comes with it as like a bundle package. So that's what's coming out on November 1st. Jake Rodriguez found his channel is awesome. Finally, content for operator. Yep, that's true. And man, Jake Rodriguez. Another thing too, I'm working on a platform outside of YouTube to where I can kind of tell these stories and like all the wild stuff that happens at work. Now, you would think that this environment is it's hardcore, it's tough, but man, it's a lot of stuff, and I can't talk about it the way I want to on YouTube because they'll flag it. They'll shut the video down. So I'm working on getting onto another platform right now. I'm looking at Uscreen, which is similar to a Patreon, but to me, it's a little bit better because you can kind of organize the videos, and that'll be kind of like a membership site, similar to Patreon, and that's where all the raw operator stuff will be at over there. So once I get that up, hopefully I can get that up sometime this year. I'll work on it. I'm working on it now, but getting everything on the back end fixed up for it. But that's where I have all the raw videos for like operations, and I mean even stuff like life in Houston, like all the stuff that people really can't talk about on YouTube. I have it over there. That way it's unfiltered and you kind of can see it for yourself. You know, but that's what's coming down the line. Since y'all in here now, far as the live thing or the live stream, what are some good times to schedule this, like going forward in the future? Um, what times work best? Now I've done one early in the morning, and I've done one as of now, like around 8, 9 o'clock. It's my time. I look forward to it. I'm sure you heard of the Refiner cartoon. Yeah, yeah, I heard of Refine. They showed it to me. This was I would say earlier in the year. I found out about it. Yeah, earlier this year they told me about that cartoon. Yeah, this it's really funny. But yeah, they knew to make it a cartoon because man, ooh, people be getting chopped up if they showed their face on that one. But yeah, I'm trying to find some times that work for everybody. Uh, like I said, I did the nighttime stream tonight. The morning stream yesterday. Like I said, I'll just play with it for a little bit. Action Jackson anytime works for me. Okay, cool, cool. That'll work. That will work. All right, guys. Coming up on an hour and a half, and look, I enjoyed y'all time tonight. Thank y'all for logging in, checking in, and I'll jump back on this live stream tomorrow sometime. I don't know the time. It might be early, it might be late. We'll just see. All right. I hope y'all have a good night. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.